My name is Alexis. I died during the zombie apocalypse. I did not die from zombie but from my own sister's dagger. Sarah, my younger sister, plunged her dagger in my back, whispered to me, "Sister, you have to die. Only then Ryan can be mine," then pushed me off the balcony to the horde of zombies below. I didn't notice her coveting my boyfriend, who is tall, handsome and charismatic. Little did I know, he was cheating on me with my sister. They planned my murder. I was completely taken by surprise. Shocked, I died in disbelief while my body was falling from the balcony. Then I woke up. I was back in my cozy room. The excruciating pain in my back gone. I took my phone from the bedside. June 5th. If I remember correctly, the zombies will appear in a month. I checked the news. They report the same news as I remember it. I also remember during this time the real estate plummeted and many investors were devastated with huge losses. I remember Ryan, he was going to call me to tell me that he won't be back for another 3 days as he was going to stay at his parents' house for the holiday. That cheater, murderer, I will get my revenge. Just you see, I screamed in my head, punched the pillow a few times then buried my head on it. Soon, my phone rang. I calmed down. Answer the call. Ryan spoke, "Babe, I will stay in my parents' house for the holiday. I won't be back for 3 days. I miss you." I want to vomit hearing him. I said okay, enjoy, and hang up. I hurried to the toilet to vomit. Nothing came out but my brain momentary lacks air. After a while, I gargled and brushed my teeth and took a quick hot shower. Once ready, at 9:45 a.m. I was standing in front of the lottery ticketing booth. I bought the winning numbers in my previous life and went to an expensive seafood restaurant. I had to enjoy this delicious food before the end time arrive. I ordered abalone, king crabs, red salmon and shrimps. Once finished I went to a coffee shop. Opened my laptop and scrolls to property listing. All that displayed does not meet my criteria. Secluded, high wall and self-sufficient. Then I remember my best friend Cora. She has a resort on the edge of the city surrounded by waters. It's an island and only accessible by the small bridge. It's perfect. I called Cora. "Hey Cora, long time. How are you?" "Yes, long time. I'm fine. What's up?" I inquire about her little resort. "Cora, my best friend is one of the wealthy daughter in the city. Her parents dealing with export make them so rich. They have so many property and is often feature in magazines. In this apocalypse, I can only trust her. She saved me so many times from bullies and even took insults directed at me. She didn't mind that I'm not so rich. She is the only child in her family. Her parents, although nice people, are always away for business. I coincidentally meet her in the library. Found out that we both shared the same interest in books. In my previous life, I don't know what happened to Cora. I called but could not reach her at all. In this life, I will keep her beside me. I met up with her for dinner on the 20th floor luxury restaurant. I told her I have dream that is so vivid that it feel too real. She raised her eyebrows and continued to listen to me. I told her what is about to happen in a few days. I laid the lottery ticket. Show it to her. I opened the phone showing the lottery numbers being drawn live. One by one the number exactly as displayed in my ticket. She gasped. "OMG, Alexis," she screamed and quickly covered her mouth. Look at me anxiously. "You won $10 million. I just shrugged it off. "Do you believe me now?" She nodded. We stayed in the hotel and I told her my plan for her island resort. She agreed. I told her to also meet her parents and to keep everything to ourselves for now. We need to reinforce the perimeter of the resort, add more solar panel and batteries and cultivate lands and raise livestock. I thought other people also deserved to survive. So I also suggested, we buy the old prison in the outskirt for survivors. The security there is already in place. Just need some seeds and livestock to sustain the survivors inside. She agreed without hesitation. We listed things we needed to secure. And fell asleep from mental exhaustion. The next day, after breakfast, Cora went to meet her parents. I went to claim my winnings. I went home, got all my property deeds and took some cloths and essentials, then drove to the resort. It is a 2-hour drive. As I near the place, the ocean came to view. I lowered my car window and breathed in the fresh salty air. As I reached the foot of the platform, the guard saw me. Cora already informed him about me coming over. He opened the gate to allow me to drive in. Passing a bridge. The bridge connecting to the resort is about 20 meters long. It will only take 2 minutes to cross by car. As I park front entrance I got out and look at the huge mansion in front of me. The mansion is massive. It has 20 rooms, plus 5 rooms for the servants. It has a huge swimming pool and tennis court and a golf course. I took my notes and start jotting down. 1. The gate need to reinforced and include manual operation to close open the gate. 2. The gate also need to be covered, so that no one can see through. To add another strong gate on the other end of the bridge. So both bridge have gates and will serve as added protection in case the first bridge falls. 3. To change all doors to sturdy ones and put guardrail on all windows so no one can enter. This is for worst case scenario if zombies and human bridge the second gate. They won't be able to enter the mansion. 4. Set up multiple solar system for each demand. One solar system for gate controls and power the electrical fence. Another system for the freezers. Another for lights and fans. I put note to disconnect to aircons as it's not necessary and to save power. 5. Erect high fence in the seaside surrounding the island to stop people with boats to reach the island. It has to be electrical fence with its own power generating from solar system dedicated to it. 6. The golf course to be converted into plots and make livestock building that will house chickens, cow and pig. And also has enough space to livestock food and necessities. Wells need to be dug near the plots and livestock. 7. Stock up long-lasting foods like canned goods, rice, flour, biscuits, instant noodles, instant coffees, pasta and canned tomato sauces. Also buy frozen food like nuggets, chicken, pork, beef and fish, and shrimps. Note to buy fresh meat and veggies before the end times. 8. Stock up on daily necessities like soap, shampoo, dishwashing soap, tissues, sanitary pads, toothpaste, toothbrush, towels, jackets, t-shirts, pants, shorts, undies for men and women. Beddings and shovels, axes, firewood, knives, hammers, nails, screws and power tools like drills and nail guns. 9. Stock up on bottled waters, buy water tanks and water purifications. Also set up rainwater collection for the mansion for bathing and flushing toilets. Rain collection also for the livestock building for cleaning. When Cora arrived with her parents, I greeted them, Mr. Smith and Mrs. Smith. Both in unison also replied hello. Mrs. Smith came to hug me. During dinner I show them the list and tell them it's necessary. They smiled and look at me. They believed me. They have known me since me and Cora from high schools. I doubt they will believe me. Mr. Smith said, it's going to be hard to convince the public. I only nodded. Mr. Smith managed to buy 4 decommissioned prison facilities. Have appointed his trusted secretaries to each manage the prison with their family. Followed my plan on adding electric fences powered by standalone solar-powered system. Plot lands and livestock houses. Stock up on food and daily necessities, including rainwater collections. 1 week before the appearance of the zombies, Ryan called. Where are you? I'm home but you are not here. I scoff. 2 weeks passed only then he remembered to call me. Oh, I'm on a business trip and haven't come back yet. It drag on and I'm not sure when it will end. I said indifferently. Okay, he replied and hung up. What a jerk. I mumbled and continued to go around with Cora's cousin Samuel. We install security camera in the 2 bridges. Around the fence, mansion front door, inside the mansion's kitchen, living rooms, stairs and hallways. We establish security room on the 2nd floor. Me, Cora, and her parents have administrator access. This past week we busied ourselves buying fresh meats, vegetables. We also found stay-in servant to manage the farm and livestock. They have their own house beside it. Mr. Smith also brought home lots of guns and ammunitions. Some grenades and shorts and daggers. Also some drones. I called everyone over for a meeting. Everyone. Starting today no one can go out. I paused. And, no one is allowed and no matter the situations. I also state how people will turn demons when facing desperations. The 4 fixed-up prisons and turned them into survivor bases, are now all operational and ready. We just called them Base 1, 2, 3, and 4. Each one has a radio, like the military uses, so they can talk to each other in the island resort. But for safety, none of the bases know where the others are. That way, if one base gets taken or something goes wrong, it can't lead anyone to the others. We only talk through special codes. All the bases do the same thing, help people stay alive. They've got food, clean water, doctors, beds, and people who care. We're trying to make sure everyone not only survives, but has a chance to live again. Base 1 is special. It's run by Leah Karin. That's where Cora's other family and relatives are staying. It's also where we have the army, doctors, and scientists working on a vaccine. The other bases are led by people Mr. Smith personally pick and trust. Base 2, Victor Ng. Base 3, Priya Rao. Base 4, Diego Mendez. All of them are doing their best. We're holding on, one day at a time. Then the zombies appeared. I watched the news. The screen showed staggering figures, limping, their faces unrecognizable, grotesque, clothes and bodies soaked in blood, some collapsing mid-step. I could almost smell the blood and decay through the TV. The scene was gruesome. I got chills all over, trembling. Memories came rushing back, the things I had seen, the people who suffered, who died, and the betrayals. Me, Cora, her parents, and her cousin all stayed at the island resort. We lived there with a few trusted servants, some scientists and researchers. Mr. Smith had also hired personal guards and security for us. Cora's parents were in charge of running the resort. With their experience, they managed everything really well. Most days, I walked around the resort with Cora. Sometimes we stopped by the surveillance room to check the cameras. Other times, we just relaxed and watched movies. We lived like that for another month. Same routine, same quiet hope. Then one day, someone knocked on the bridge gate. A group of survivors. We checked the cameras. I stared at the screen, and my heart dropped. I recognized two faces, Sarah and Ryan. I could hear Sarah's voice through the speaker. Let us in. I'm friends with Cora, the owner of this resort. I sneered and glanced at Cora. She knew what they'd done to me in my previous life. She picked up the mic and said coldly, I'm not your friend. Alexis is my friend, not you. Then she turned away and waved them off, knowing I couldn't stand hearing Sarah's voice. Alexis, Sarah called out again, desperate. Sister, you're there, right? Please let us in. Then Ryan's voice came in. Alex, babe, come on. You won't leave us out here to die, right? I froze. My whole body shook with anger. My face went pale. The memories hit me hard, how I died because of them. Cora wrapped her arms around me. I shook my head and whispered, I'm scared. Without a word, Cora turned on the electric fence and told them to leave. They had no choice. Sarah, Ryan, and the others walked away. I couldn't let Sarah and Ryan in, not after everything. But the others, they didn't do anything wrong. Later that night, I asked Cora if we could help them. We sent a drone with a note. It gave the location of the nearest base. It said clearly, all are welcome. Except Sarah and Ryan. The drone would scout ahead. It's safest to travel at night, zombies can't see in the dark. That was the base R4. The group, with Sarah and Ryan asleep, quietly made their way to the base, following the drone's guidance. After 2 hours of walking, they finally reached it. The base was ready for them. Armed guards were waiting and escorted them inside. They were inspected to make sure they weren't infected, then given rooms to rest. The next day, they were briefed by the manager's assistant. They were told their help was needed to keep the base running. The group was more than willing to cooperate. After everything they'd been through outside the safe base, they were thankful for the chance to help and contribute. I watched through the drone as Sarah panicked when she woke up, realizing she was alone with just Ryan. She stumbled to wake him, and I could see the fear in his eyes as he looked around. They cursed, grabbed their things, and moved on. I thought I'd never see them again. But a week later, they somehow ended up at the same base where I had brought the others. By then, I'd already made it clear, Sarah and Ryan were never to be allowed in any of the bases. Their faces were posted at every entrance for everyone to see, especially when new survivors showed up. I made sure everyone knew not to let people like them in. The way they looked, the way they acted, it was clear they could be a threat to the safety of everyone here. We couldn't afford to have wolves in the fold. I didn't see them again. I did hear they ended up in the Hope shelter, just like in my previous life. But I never bothered with them, whether they survived or not, it wasn't my concern anymore. Most people would risk everything for revenge, but I didn't want to lose my morality over them. As they say, prevention is better than cure, or revenge, in this case. Everything was peaceful at the island resort. Scientists were making steady progress on a cure for the zombie virus. We used large drones to send our extra food supplies to other bases. It felt good to help. But then we heard about trouble at Base 4. Diego Mendez, the base manager, found out someone on his team was secretly trading food for gold with outsiders. When he confronted the man, he confessed. They detained him, but it was too late. The group that had been getting food from him didn't take it well. When the trade stopped, they attacked. Base 4 went on high alert. They managed to defend themselves, but there were casualties. After that, all the other bases tightened security. Our island was already on high alert, but a few boats still tried to sneak in. Luckily, the high fences and electric barriers kept them out. Now, a year into the zombie apocalypse, we're always watching. The team patrols day and night. At night, drones quietly fly overhead, scanning for any signs of danger. Something changed. The zombies, they weren't the same anymore. Slower, fewer, like the virus was getting tired. Cora noticed it first. We were in the surveillance room, just watching the fence like always, when she leaned in and squinted at the screen. They're not coming like they used to, she said. She was right. The ones still walking around looked weak, skinny, lost. Some just stood still, staring at nothing. Then one morning, we heard something we hadn't heard in months, helicopters. Real ones, not just flying past. They landed. Soldiers jumped out. Clean uniforms, full gear. They weren't hiding. They were here to take everything back. From the island's control tower, I watched them move into the nearby town. It was like watching a machine work, fast, organized, no panic. Some soldiers cleared out the streets. Others fixed power lines and water pipes. A week later, I turned on a faucet, and clean water came out. I just stood there, hand under the stream, trying not to cry. Then came the big news. The island scientist had worked with the government and made a vaccine. If you got it, you couldn't turn anymore. No more fear of changing. And then, the announcement, we're rebuilding. We need volunteers. So we helped. We took down barricades, cleared broken glass and debris. I cleaned out an old clinic. Cora painted walls in a school. More people came. Survivors. Like us. Some sang while they worked. Others cooked for everyone. It felt human again. One night, we sat on a rooftop. The city glowed faintly beneath us. Some buildings had lights. Others flickered with lanterns. People laughed down below. Cora leaned back beside me, hands behind her head. I still can't believe we made it through all that, she said. Yeah, I said, quietly. She looked over, grinning. You think we'll stay here? I looked around. The island resort is still the safest place I know. That, and the 4 bases scattered around the mainland. From up here, I can see the city already coming back to life. Lights in windows, people walking, laughter in the air. I turned to Cora and said, hey, maybe we should stay in this resort. I looked around at the buildings, the calm water, the cleared walkways. This place could become something big. A real home. For us. A monument of the zombie apocalypse. She looked at me, then smiled. Her eyes soft, steady. Okay, she said. The end.